Hi again, and welcome to my channel, Just Drew. I'm Drew, and this is a space where I talk about reinvention, renewal, and anything that may be of interest to me. Today I had a video planned, and I ditched it. Why? Because I found something more interesting to speak about. Yesterday I was at home, just relaxing, a Saturday, minding my own business, and then I thought to go out for a short walk because I wanted to. And I did go out, and I ended up at the center, which is called Consumerism. And once I was there were so many people in the metro and the train. It was just okay. I thought, what's happening? And then I realized, oh yes, it's Christmas. The amount of shopping and consumerism that is carried out here during Christmas is insane. I don't think people in the West want you to truly understand the level of consumerism that goes on here. I've never seen so many people at a center or a mall. It was like at 10 a.m. It wasn't even late. And I walked in and I immediately walked out because it was just stifling. The amount of shopping that happens during the Christmas season. I have nothing against shopping. I shop from time to time, but I don't think people truly understand the magnitude of purchases that, and many times unnecessary purchases, that people have or do especially during the Christmas season, because of course children have their requests. That's the usual. But I remember my first Christmas here, we stayed up till like 2:30 in the morning opening gifts, and it was very okay. It was, first of all, it's tiring because you've spent the evening together as a family, which is always nice. But then when you're opening the gifts from, I don't know, maybe was it, I don't know if it was 11 or 10, it may even have been earlier, I don't remember. It is, and then you have to clear up all the wrapping paper because everything has to be wrapped. And then you have to go home. It's quite a long evening. But to think that many families do this in just one country, and then you start to think of people talking about the state of the world and how the environment has been degraded, and is it degraded, whatever that word is, and then you think, now, if everybody lived to the same level as people in the West do, would this world be able to sustain itself? The answer is no. Let me not even try and the answer is no, because if Africans purchased the amount of stuff that the West purchases, even a fraction of the amount, there'd be no hope for this place. I think that's why Africa is kept poor. Africa is poor. Of course, we have our own internal problems and dealings. Some people's dogs are fighting. Of course, Africans have their own internal issues that they are, working on. But you have to give us some credit because many countries are not even 60 years old. In the West, we have, kingdoms and countries that have been here for such a long time. And I think the purpose of keeping Africa poor lies in keeping the quality of Western countries the same and wasteful. And I don't think that many people are interested in exploring that angle because it will be to their detriment. Yeah. That it is for sure. When we think about, I can walk to the street right now and I would spot electric cars all over the place. And of course, electric cars are what's being pushed right now. But what is the cost of an electric car in terms of environment? What's the environmental cost of an electric car, to manufacture an electric car? And even where the materials are sourced from. I mean, I really didn't want this channel to be heavy all the time, but that struck me as it's a thought that I've always had, and I don't know who to discuss it with. So you're the unfortunate recipients of this video. Yeah, the West has definitely got something in terms of their quality of life, having the quality of life they have, and Africans having the quality of life we have. Yes, we're responsible for what we are going through. Yes, we have agency as African countries because we are now independent, but we are in a global system where everybody is interconnected in one way or another, whether they like it or not, and whether they want to realize it or not. And that interconnection is what is at play right now. When you look at the West and you look at African countries. Short story. I wanted to import coffee to Denmark when I first moved here, before I became a chef, and I looked into the rules to import coffee into Denmark. And something struck me, and it was that you can't import raw coffee. You can't import roasted coffee from Kenya into the EU. Let me not say you can't, but the rules are just insane for importing roasted coffee into the EU. Because my plan was, I have a cold and I've had the flu for so long and I've just been sniffling. It is so irritating, man. Anyway, back to it. So I had wanted to import roasted coffee because we have great coffee in Kenya. Even when you come to Denmark, you come and find it. It's right here. But once I looked into the rules for importing coffee, I realized there's ineffectively an economic embargo on roasted coffee, and the value of coffee in the West comes after it has been roasted. But they're very happy to import the raw coffee. Now, I'm not a coffee roaster, so I just killed that plan, and I had no interest in becoming a coffee roaster because there's so much equipment that you need, and the training, it just wasn't of interest to me. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And actually, that's how I ended up being a chef. Funny. But when I think about those economic embargoes, and then I think about how people live, and I think about the price of coffee in Copenhagen. When you go out to a store and you want to buy coffee, it is about 40 krona, which translates to about, I'll do the calculations and I'll put it on the video. But it's a good amount of money, because the value is put in here, and then of course there are taxes that are added on, and then they sell it. But the coffee bean, me as a Kenyan importing coffee into Denmark, was virtually, I gave up once I read the rules. It was insane. And of course that ties into the consumerism, because they make it so difficult for us to do things with them trading on an equal level, but it benefits them. And we are left as Africans in a state of, well, now what? It's really pathetic. But anyway, that's the video that I thought of coming up with today. If you have any thoughts on this, let me know. If you've thought about it, I've spoken about it sometimes with people close to me. When you try and bring it up, with the Danes, they'll just tell you, oh, but that's the rules. Yes, I know it's the rules, but rules are also made by human beings. Rules can change, but it won't be to their benefit for these rules to change. And yeah, that's about it. If you'd like to watch more musings about my life in Denmark, I'll link the video at the end of this video, sorry. And yeah, that's it. Have a good day. The babies are waking up screaming, as you can hear. It's a really beautiful day. I'm glad I went out. Look at it. It's fantastic. Bye.